Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to InfoGamer and welcome to the latest update on my Campfire game. In this video I'm going to be working on the navigation through my character customization menu. Now currently, as you see on my main menu, I have a campfire in the middle where there will also be some menu options. I'll have a quick match button and a custom match button and probably a settings button, as well as maybe some other menu options. And for my customization menu, I currently had it where when you would click to open the customization menu, it would open a new UI panel, and in between all the arrows I was using a camera and a render texture to display the player's avatar over top of this menu. The player could then use the arrows to customize their character, but instead of this I think I want to simplify things and just have the main camera shift over so the player's avatar, or the monster avatar, is in the center of the screen. I also had a separate button for opening the customization menu, but instead of that, I think I want the players to actually click on the avatar or the monster avatar to then customize them. And so I'm going to overlay transparent buttons over top of the avatar and the monster avatar. And so here underneath this customized menu object, we have an object called avatar view. And I've created my transparent button, which I've overlaid over top of the player's avatar. Now for this button, we want to enable the avatar view and shift the camera over so the player's avatar is in the center of the screen. To do this, I've created these empty game objects, which I've called camera position, so that if the camera has the same position, one will put the camera where it currently is right now, one will be so that the player's avatar is in the center of the screen, and one will be so the monster avatar is in the center of the screen. Now this avatar view object, when I enable it, you can see that it's my old customization menu. But I'm going to get rid of some of these elements or make them transparent so that we just have the customization buttons. And as you can see here, as I reposition the camera so that the avatar is in the center of the screen, you can kind of get an idea of how this customization menu will look. Now of course none of these buttons or assets are final, but it's a general idea. And if I play through my game real quick, you can see how these customization options work. The arrows switch between different hairstyles and clothing, while the boxes next to the arrows allow the player to select a specific color. Now you might be wondering about these character assets, and they actually all come from a Unity package that I purchased off the Unity Asset Store. The package is called Customizable Pixel Art Character Kit, and it's currently being sold for $30 on the Unity Asset Store. I'll leave a link to this package in the description below. Now as you can see, this package comes with a bunch of different sprite sheets, and each sprite sheet is a different layer to creating these characters. You basically just have to slice up these sprite sheets and then create an avatar object that will put all of these layers together. Now there's more I could say about this Unity package, but I'll save that for another video. Next up, I'm going to duplicate my avatar view. I'm going to rename it to monster view. For the monster view, I don't need nearly as many customization options. I really just need one back and forth arrow option for selecting which monster the player wants to be. And so I'll delete all of them but one. And I'll leave the color selection option because I think it would be cool to allow the player to select the glow color of the monster. Basically, every single monster is going to have some element that glows, and so that when the other players see the monster coming towards them, but the monster is still in the darkness around the player, the only thing they'll see is the glowing part of the monster. Now once I have all this, I'm going to open up my character customization script to add in the functionality. Now in the script I already have a lot of the functionality as far as selecting the different outfits and hairstyles for your avatar, and so I'm going to focus on creating the navigation through the customization menu. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new variable. This is going to be a serialized field of type transform, and I'm going to make it an array, and I'm going to call it camera positions. Next up, I'll create a public function which I'll call open avatar customizer, and for this function I'll create two more variables. These are both going to be serialized field of type game object. One's going to be called main menu and the other's going to be called avatar menu. Then inside this function, I'm going to disable the main menu, so I'll do main menu.setActive and I'll pass in false, and I'll activate the avatar menu, so I'll do avatar menu.setActive and I'll pass in true, after which I want to reposition the camera so it's over top of the player's avatar. So I'll do camera.main.transform.position equals camera positions, and we'll get element 1 and then do dot position. We'll then create another one of these functions, but for opening the monster customizer. So this will be another public function, which I'll call open monster customizer. And I'll also need to add another variable. This will be another game object, which I'll call monster menu. And inside this function, we're doing pretty much the same stuff, except for instead of enabling the avatar menu, we want to enable the monster menu. And instead of changing our camera position to the first element of our camera positions variable, we want to set it to the second element. Now, like I said, I already have code for customizing the player's avatar, but I don't have code for customizing the player's monster. So down at the bottom of my character customization script, I'm going to duplicate this change shoe function, and I'm going to change the name to change monster. Now inside this function, I'm going to change everywhere it says shoes to monster, because in my player data class, I have a variable called monster. And I'm also going to change wherever it says shoe count to be monster count, because this avatar variable, which is of type avatar setup, has a member variable called monster count. And then on the second to last line, we want to change this player prefs line of code to set the player pref monster, and I want to pass in playerdata.monster instead of playerdata.shoe. Now, one other thing that I need to do, since my monster avatar is separate from the character avatar in the main menu scene, I need to create a second avatar variable so that when we're changing which monster we want, it modifies the actual monster avatar instead of the monster of the character avatar. So I'll duplicate my avatar variable and I'll call it avatar2. And inside my change monster function, everywhere it says avatar, I'll change it to avatar2. Now inside Unity, I just need to set all my variables and all my on-click events. For the button over top of the avatar, I'll set the on-click to my customization script, and then I'll use the drop-down menu to select the Open Avatar Customizer. For the button over top of our monster, I'll do the same thing, except for I'll select the Open Monster Customizer. I'm actually going to duplicate my werewolf, and I'll change the color of this werewolf as a placeholder for another monster. And now when I play through my project, you can see that when I click on my avatar, it takes me to my avatar customization menu, where I can then customize my avatar. And when I click on the monster avatar, it takes me to my monster customization, and as I toggle through the monster options, you can see that the werewolf changes from a brown werewolf to a red werewolf. Now that's everything I'm going to work on for this video. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you have any thoughts or ideas on what I could add to this game, make sure that you leave them in the comments below. And subscribe to my channel so you can be up to date with all my latest videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.